Good evening, everyone. In this day and age, we all notice one phenomenon that we're scrolling the screen all the time, 24 hours on 24 hours. And today, I bring to you guys one of the very hot topic called media literacy. I know that it's not really hot on daily life, but recently we learned the major, so my teacher talked to us about this topic, and I find it really useful. And also, I think that we can relate. So let's jump right in. First, before before jumping into any detail, let's look at this picture. Can you recognize him? Like this person? Know his name?
Yeah, Harry, right?
No.
Harry, yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's right.
I just know the name of the wife, his wife.
So,
Yeah.
Kate?
Because it's his
The
wife.
Yeah,
name.
but this is William. Okay, so he's the son of the royal city in British, in British royal city, and
Family.
I will royal family. And look at this picture. What do you think? Yeah, it's really sensitive thing, right? But the exact action that he showed actually is not the same. So what is that? We'll find out later on in this topic. And next, I want to guide you through this picture also. When you look at this, what do you think?
Is the gun right?
Yeah, that's the gun. And this is kind of the victim in the war, like a soldier. And let's look at this. This is another side of the picture, right? This man feeds the soldier a bottle of water. But this is the whole picture. So when we look at a matter, we look at a thing, we look at a story, we hear a story, we cannot observe the whole like 360 degree of that story, of that thing. Sometimes we just hear a piece of that story and we quickly judge that person, we quickly judge that situation. But it turns out not to be like that. So that is why we need to have a skill called media literacy. And in this presentation, this is the exact meaning of his hand. He just say that today we go very full because the journalist asked him how many people are in the car, and he just like 3, me, my brother, and his wife. That's it. But yeah, you can see the video. And this is what I'm going to say. The first one traditionally is the definition. Then I will tell you 5 main principles of media literacy, and finally we will conclude with 5 key questions that you can ask yourself to master every single information in this day and age. Alright? So first, media literacy is defined as an essential skill which talk about the ability to analyze. You can see the bold word here. No, the elastic word, analyze, assess, evaluate, and creative media in a various kind of forms. That means when we look at a story, we look at a piece of information, we look at a form of media, whether it's the photo, it's the video, the advertisement, whatever. We will not immediately judge or consume the news. We will not immediately understand the way it conveys us, but we think backward to ask ourselves, is that true? So that is meaning of media literacy. Or in Vietnamese translator, they call it Truyền Thông. That means when you that means you understand deeply, and you create, that right? That means you understand deeply, and then you can even create your own messages, your own understanding about that matter, though in fact it's not really shown that way. So is that clear?
Okay.
Yeah. So this is a fun picture you can see here. The students asked the teacher that why his essay marks the F point, and he said because he copied everything straight off the internet, because he saw everything on the internet and he think that that is exactly the answer that the teacher wanted him to do, but in fact it's not. When you copy everything, when you understand the way it's shown you, when you have no question against that matter, you are like passively consume the news. without awareness. So that is very negative, and like I said, it's not really a passive lifestyle. Okay? And here is the quote for a very famous person. He says that societies today have always been shaped more by nature of the media by which men communicate than by the content of the communication. That means when we are exposed to form or information of the media, we are shaped by the nature of media, but not the value it brings to us. Get that? And next, this is 5 core principles, and in this part, you will realize that, wow, this is the nature of media, like the man has just said. Here comes 5 core principles. The first one, all messages are constructed. That means when you see a message, it looks natural, but actually it's not real. That means they are constructed, just like buildings. Messages of media forms, for example, a photo, a poster, advertisement, all the information on that media actually is purposefully constructed and selected to show to you in order to share their purpose to you. For example, when you look at a poster, the information on that poster want you to understand why you should choose KFC to fulfill your stomach, for example. So that means all the messages on that poster will show a lot of like tasty chicken legs, right? So they never show the number of the chickens are killed each day or the quality of the meat. That means they have elected the information they input into the media forms. And next one is media messages are constructed using a creative language in which is on rules and codes. That means when you meet a poster, you will see some parts of it really outstanding, and some part is just a very small size of the word is very inside in small size, right? So the purpose of the creator is want you to read the message, which has in bold form first. Then it will come to the smaller size after that. And when you read the bold form word first, you will passively form the understanding because of the impression you have just read. You got me? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So thirdly, different members of audience interpret media messages differently. So this will clearly seen in the way we look at the old who watch K-pop culture. We think K-pop culture is really young, active, and a lot of handsome men and boys on that industry, but the men, they think that it's just a bullshit and they will never watch that because boys in whatever color of hair, they really detest that. So each of the audience will aware and will conceive the message in different ways. Finally, it's not finally. Fourthly, media messages contain embedded value points of view. That means when you read a message, you can understand the value of the point they want to convey to you. For example, when you read the article of the government toward the vaccination issues, you can really understand why they write like that, because they want you to vaccinate it. Not because they share the information on the benefits of vaccination, that want you to know the benefit, then you will never rebel the government. So that convey the point of view of the creator. And finally, most media messages are organized in order to gain profit or power. That means whoever create a message, they all have the purpose behind that is to gain power or to gain profit. If they don't have money, then what is the motivation then, right? So this is the 5 core principles. I know that it's a bit challenging to understand because it's a bit theoretical, right? But when it comes to 5 key questions, you can you can immediately understand that it relates to the 5 core principles. When you when you are exposed to a piece of information you read, let's ask yourself immediately 5 key questions in your mind, of course, not just auto read them out loud and answer like a crazy person, but just perceive in the process so that we can train our mind of critical thinking. The first one, who created these messages? Because you know that the first principle says all messages are constructed. So let's think backward. Who created this message so that you can have a more objective point of view toward a matter? And the second one, what creative techniques are used to attract my attention, like the pop-up emails or just the bold words or some kind of creative techniques of design, for example. Next, let's ask yourself, how might different people understand this message differently than me? When we expose to a piece of information, let's think, what are the things? Just like Facebook always asks you, what do you think today? Kind of, yeah, and let's let's place yourself in other shoe to think, to ask yourself what they are thinking about this. Do they think like me, or am I do like this, which is the same with others, so that we can have a lot of thoughts to have more like careful consideration. And what values, lifestyle, and points of view are presented in or omitted from this message? As I said to you, a lot of country, for example, France, a lot of people, they rebel the government because they don't want to get vaccinated because they think that may, simply say is kind of brainwash them by vaccination, because no one guarantees the long-term effects of vaccination, right? So a lot of people in France, they rebel the government. But in Vietnam, a lot of media forms, they always lauded the benefits of vaccination. So we have no idea of rebellion. And that is the reason why when you read the article, you can immediately realize the value, the point of view of the creator of that article to you, is that they want you to go vaccinated. And finally, what is this message being sent? Why is this message being sent? Yeah, just ask yourself 5 key questions like that. I know that is, again, a little bit hard to understand, then I show you this very outstanding example. Let's look at this. I come across this one and I will analyze for you the process of thinking, like the process of being media literate. This is a post on original cell. They call it tế bào gốc. Have you ever heard this term before? Yeah, they have a lot of benefits, right? To everything, a lot of benefits. And this is a post. They have a lot of benefits on the caption, and if you're curious about the reaction of people, you will scroll down and you look at, oh, there's so many likes, even shares. You read the comments, every audience will say that, give me one, kind of, I buy one, kind of thing like that, or they applaud the quality of this product, and you still being so curious, you're not really trusted in this one yet, so you go online and you search tế bào gốc reserve.com, is it good? And there's thousands of websites like this. I have searched and all the time, actually I searched 5 times. They all show me a lot of web like this, and whatever websites I clicked into, the content are exactly the same, just paraphrasing some way. Like the parts can be different, but the content actually is the same. And I realized one website is a little bit more special. They call it bóc, like có thực sự tốt or bóc phốt tế bào gốc. And I click on that.
But in that, have the good message, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Here, it just shows the the benefits of this one, and of course, because the title is like this, they still place some some warning there. Just say that because the quality of this product is really like excellent, but some shops they bought from unknown or unverified source. Therefore, you might come across some fake products. That is the reason why so many people blame the quality of this product, but actually just because of the source that you buy product. Even no, no drawback of this product then. And but if you think more, like I said, if you have the skill of media literacy, you will realize that why this is constructed, why they write this kind of article, right? Let's answer the first one. Let's answer the first question. Who created these messages? Shops who sell products. The website of this company called Reserve Company. And actually this is a multi-business.
Yes, influencer, right? Influencer?
I don't know. The company, I mean.
Influencer.
Influencer?
No, not sure.
Some places they put the pictures, the good thing going on.
I haven't found any KOL there actually. And next question is so basically the people who show you the information about this product is actually one side, right? And even there's a network of users of this product. They even created Zalo. They even created a Facebook group and even a YouTube channel. Thousands of video uploaded just to applaud the benefits of this product bring to them, like they can cure cancer and their child in the mountainous area get much better. Even they don't even have to go to the hospital to treat the disease. They just like do this product. And when you expose to this video, you find out, oh yes, so actually there's a lot of people have tried and they even feedback on this. But then they find out that all people are paid to do that. They just have a lot of money to pay too many people. And next question is, what creative techniques are used to attract my attention? Facebook ads, website, YouTube channel, they call it multimedia, YouTube channel, events, online, offline, a lot of other techniques, right? Even film, I don't know why. And how might different people understand this message differently than me? If you are persuaded by all this advertisement, but if you answer this question, you would think, so what if I were a doctor? A doctor would think like this, right? They will never, because an original cell will never easily help you to recover from a cancer that way. And besides, the price will never cheap like this. So if you just need to place yourself in another person to perceive the matter in a different way, maybe you come up with another idea. And what values, lifestyle, and point of view are presented and omitted in this information. Included, it's just only the benefits of the product, but omitted, it is the drawbacks of this one. No one have ever mentioned. And finally, is why this message being sent for you to buy the product and they will earn money. So when you read all these, when you answer all these questions, you will just suddenly have a lightening of thoughts, of doubts, and you will search more, and you will come to this website. Bộ Công Thương, Cục Cạnh tranh và Bảo vệ người tiêu dùng, they said that this company actually has a register to operate in our country actually. And of course, this does exist because of in the US, this exists this company, and they even really developed because of the foreign multi-business. But in US, they commit that. In Vietnam, we're not. And in Vietnam, they even make it worse by cheating others. So not only this website, but also VTV have a lot of posts like this, and they're there as well. You'll look for it. Therefore, I just want you to know that once you're exposed to a piece of information or or a form of media, do not consume the news immediately, but think backward and ask yourself, is that really true? Is that everyone think the same? Or sometimes the mass actually think the same because they have the psychological factor that affect us, but they not the outsider, like Mr. Tang said once, right? If you're in one thing, you cannot have the overview of it, so you have to step out of that thing. By answering 5 questions in your mind, you can realize something else. It's not like that. So media sometimes it looks natural, but it's not real because they give you some message, all with a purpose. Nothing's for free. There's no free meal. Like this one, you might see this. A lot of people advocate for her right, but it turns out to be just a project. Just some people standing around and do some very, I don't know how, like this, I have mentioned, right? So, there's one quote that I'm really into. This is the quote from philosophy, the German philosophy, called, this name is really long, and in his poem called Lost, he said, all theory is great, but my friend, forever green is the tree of life. That means all the meteors, like, just believe in your experience, kind of. Okay, so that is the end of my presentation. Thank you for listening.